Just wondering why I wasn't seeing my image there on the computer there, guys. Computer screen. Just, yeah. Okay, I'm just going through what I just made there, put together there a few moments ago now, and I'm going to take another chance on it, guys. Get one more in there this afternoon here now, and you know, hope for the best. This one's kind of important now. I guess I'm going to make, what's it, like my 4th attempt now to try to present my personal story as an example of what I'm talking about here, what's wrong with this current system and so on. See how far I get with it now. So okay, it's the same day, guys. It's funny how I gotta stop every time I try to think that. Tuesday, December 27th at 4:30, just a little after 4:30. Tuesday, December the 27th at a little after 4:30 in the afternoon. So day after Boxing Day, 2022. And continuing on now with my conversation about all the failures, flaws, shortcomings of this for-profit housing rental system that all of us, or the vast majority of us, are forced to have to utilize because there's pretty much no other options set up right now, alternatives to this particular one. So what I want to do here now, guys, try again for 4th time now probably, I think it's around 4 times now, to tell you my story. And just hope the good guys, this thing didn't overheat on me and everything's working right. I'm going to check again now, make sure I got on 4K, guys. I'm sorry. Let's double check everything here. Okay, it all seems to be okay for the moment. Okay. Try to stay calm, cool, and collected here now, keep my head clear and continue on. So I'm going to take it up now from where I left off with my conversations yesterday. For the 4th time now, try to explain to you what's been going on here since I've been here. So as I said the other 2 or 3 times there, guys, I moved in here 8 years ago. It'd be 8.5 years at the end of February. I moved in this place with my father. For the first 6 months I was here. I moved in here September of 2014, guys, and I didn't have to be out of my other place over on New Cove Road, my previous address, until the 1st of October. So my father was diagnosed with cancer. He needed to come to St. John's to do his treatments. He would have had to try to find a place to stay anyway for that period of time. And it just so happened that the family contacted me concerning my father at the exact same darn time, guys, that I was in the process of trying to move out of my other place. For all the things I mentioned, well, I don't know, I might have been in the section now that I might not be able to use, but what I mentioned yesterday about what was going on at my last place. I have to watch those videos now, listen to them and see what parts I've lost to know what you're going to miss out of that conversation and to see if I can re-record it or what I can do. But anyway. So I was in the process of moving into my previous address because of all kinds of issues I was having there and problems with the tenants around me and all the rest of it sort of thing. My last 9 to 10 months or so living there just being made an absolute, total, complete living hell, guys, to the point that, I mean, I was getting physically sick and everything, you know, because of how I wasn't able to live properly, sensibly, normally, because of people continuously grumbling and complaining about every single sound that they were hearing around them. And this was all like young people living in around me that just, they wanted, and when I say young people, I'm talking about like late teens, early mid-20s, somewhere in that age bracket. Wanted to live their lives, whatever way they wanted to live their lives, but they didn't want to extend the same courtesy to others. And I mean, I've been in that place like for over 12 years now, up to that point. I was twice their age, and none of it worked in my favor, you know. So So I moved out of the place under tremendous stress and strain and torment and aggravation sort of thing. And so when I had to move over here, because of the extenuating circumstances, I couldn't even move out sensibly. Because once I finally got this place with my father, he came in, he started his treatments and all the rest of it, and I couldn't do anything at that point. I was kind of just glued to his side. I had to go to all his treatments with him to the health science center and so on and so forth. When we came back here, blah blah blah, I always did all this. I had to, like, get his meals together, take care of different things and so on. And by the end of the day, guys, I was just so stressed and so tired, I couldn't even do anything sensibly here. So, I had moved everything out under like very stressful circumstances. I had to wait to the very, very last minute to get things packed up and so on. I wasn't even half a quarter packed up. And the last weekend that I was at my previous place, I was just throwing things in the bags and all the rest of it. Everything was completely disorganized and so on. That I had rented a trailer for a day or two, and it ended up it cost me double the amount because I had to keep it for an extra 2 days, and because of all the other stuff going on, I just couldn't get stuff done, taken care of, and out of the way in time. And so, I got everything into the trailer, out of the apartment, over here, got it out of the trailer and into the house here, but then it was like 6 months, the better part of the first, half of the first year, I was still unsettled and wasn't unpacked properly and all the rest of it. So my father went through his treatments. It was time for him to leave and go back to where we're from originally, not from St. John's here, of course, and then I was faced with the problem of what I was going to do afterwards. I wasn't going to move after just 6 months of just being here. Then I would have broke my lease and all this freaking stuff as well, because I had signed a year's lease, so I don't know what kind of problems that would have created for me. And I didn't want to anyway. I didn't want to have uprooted myself the way I'd uprooted myself before, a few months before, go through all that I'd gone through up to that point, and only had to be going through the whole freaking process again 6 months later, and not probably getting my damage deposit back because we had broken our lease and all that sort of stuff, and so on and so forth. I had a whole bunch of stuff going through my mind as to why, I just wanted to stay here anyway. And so I had the same problems back then, guys. I'm repeating myself all over again, so frustrated. You don't know now, but I lost the material that I had created there earlier, so I'm doing it all again now. I was in the same problem then that I'm in now, guys, or I would have been in if things had played out differently here, that I didn't want a complete stranger to move in with me. And because you don't know what you're getting in that situation. So I had one individual that I've known for years and years and years and years, for as long as I've been here in St. John's, and we had talked about it many times over about moving into this place. And I thought, well, if we were ever going to do it, this is the time to do it. I'm over here, I'm settled. Well, I wasn't settled away, but had everything all taken care of, sort of thing. And all he needed to do was bring his basic stuff with him, be able to cover himself for the rent for that month, half of the rent, and just take it from there, sort of thing. And so we've been discussing this for the 6 months that I've been here. When my father was here,